Well, we found the other day, we found an album cover from Nightwing, and they're still going now. They're a rock band from this country, and I built lots of guitars in the, I think I don't know, it was 70s or 80s for Gordon Rowley, the bass player, and he used to have Flying V guitars, and I was working from a smaller shed in them days, and he had a twin neck Flying V bass. And I had to cut the body out, I had to take the wood, the banter out into my garden and space the swing it all around, because they're all through necks. It was a massive thing, brilliant. He had some brilliant stuff off me. And from him, he had a twin neck guitar, much like I'm building now, but with less embellishment. He had a twin neck, and he had it, ordered it for Steve Howe, he said, from Yes. And because he was in the States a lot at the time, working with Crosby, Stills and Nash, and so he had lots of contacts. He damaged his hand, so I haven't seen him since. But apparently they're going again. I have to find out about him. He was, say, with Dave Gilmour, he had a bass off me as well, like a simple precision bass. It was lovely. I used that on the Momentary Lapse of Reason album, as well as the answer guitar. We had a phone call off Wall one day. He says he's just seen Wang Chung on the telly. These are old bands from the 80s. He'd seen them on the telly with one of the answer guitars. And the answer guitars were all bought by studios in London. There seemed to be a lot of them ordering them then. It obviously all stopped when I packed in the factory, and I've only just started again properly again now. Just getting me enthusiasm back. Wish I could get me figure back. I'm hoping we'll start working with, I say we built them 2 guitars for Robbie Williams last year, but we don't know if he's used them yet. I'm sure we'll hear from him eventually.
Is it Tim Renwick?
Oh yeah, Tim Renwick. He was playing with Clapton at the time. He had an answer guitar. He's a lovely chap. Lived in, I can't remember where he lived now. Knightsbridge, Kensington. No, somewhere out. Anyway, it was London. A nice bloke. He had a guitar.
Big country.
Big country. Oh yeah, they were working in a recording studio and they couldn't get the right sound, and so they'd got one of my answer guitars in the studio, so they tried that, and that gave them the sounds that they wanted. Obviously, because you can get any sound with it. So then they were phoning me up and ordering retrofits for their own guitars of all the pickup systems. I can't remember how many systems they had now. That they had all the guitars converted at one point.
Did you build a guitar for Sting?
Yeah, that came about by, the lad from Stafford. Can't remember his name. Anyway, he was working with the same management company as Sting, and they ended up having 5 little stick basses I made. They all had them. Sting had one of them. They're brilliant, 3-octave. It's virtually just a neck with a pickup, and all the active electronics, and they're all in the side of the neck, so you could get right up to 3 octaves. You could do all sorts with it, and it was fretless after the, I can't remember how many, I think it had 2 octaves of frets and then an octave of no frets. It's a really interesting thing.
Bass player from Climax.
Yeah, that was it, Derek Holt.
Derek Holt, yeah.
Yeah, he had a couple of guitars as well, like SG guitars off me. Yeah. I think I've had some lovely clients, because he's a really nice chap as well.
Who?
Derek, he's lovely, and he bought me one of his old basses. I can remember in the 80s. It was a Music Man bass, and it was really nice, but he wanted it black, so I did it as a sunburst black. I did it all fire, like a fire on fire black. It looked great, and he didn't mind. He didn't mind. He's probably still got it.
What about, hasn't Steve Vai got a schizo?
Yeah, apparently he was the first one in America. We had an export agent for a short while, Colin, who died unfortunately, and he sold 7 guitars to America. And on the first batch, he phoned me up and he says, Steve Vai's had the first guitar. The batch he's had a schizo, which was a single pickup Strat kind of guitar with a gelaton body. Great tone, really, really good. Big round ringy tone, gelaton. It's not a nice wood to look at though. So it's got little rivers of latex in it, so you have to put a colour on it. You can't just you can't have a sunburst or anything. It doesn't. It's very bland, but it's a lovely, lovely tone.
So what's the most interesting instrument you've made?
I quite enjoyed making the acoustic bass and getting over all the perils of all the pull on the table, which I did with this little truss rod system I worked out. I'm quite enjoying doing this. It's slowly, and I'm working on the Macaferry still. That's to be finished this year now. Obviously, there's no rush with these things.
Future plans?
Future plans. Future plans. We're going to build a few retros, 52 Telecasters. Not 50. I'm not building 52 Telecasters. The model in the 52 year of Telecasters, which was. Well, there's lots of different writings about this Telecaster things, and they use a light ash. I've got some, but they also used. Now, some people say that they were using older then, and I don't think they were. I think it was all ash. But we'll keep investigating. I've got the ash, and I've got older, and I've got the swamp ash, which is very light ash. Swamp ash grows quicker, and it's at the bottom of the tree, so it's lighter. But ash is notoriously heavy. English ash is really heavy.
Okay. If you were going to make an instrument for a known player, who would you want to make something for?
Oh, I don't actually mind. But there's lots of up-and-coming guitarists these days that I quite like, so I don't really know. I don't know whether it'd be an old traditional guitarist or I don't know. Clapton would be nice, but he's got nice guitars anyway, and he's got his own. I think he's sponsored. I don't really know. An up-and-coming, I think. Best customer's always the next one.